So you're ready to invest and you want to buy ETFs, but there are thousands on the market and you don't know which one to purchase? I got you. When you buy an ETF, they are sold by some of the biggest investment companies across the world. Some really popular ones you may have heard of, aka I call them the big dogs, are Vanguard, BlackRock slash iShares, or BMO. The easiest way to think about it is if you're going to Sephora and there are all these brands, Fenty, Too Faced, Charlotte Tilbury, Makeup Forever, and each of those brands sells lip gloss. You care about the color, you care about the finish, but you're not necessarily checking the box to see what factory it was made in. And for all you know, they actually could be all made in the same factory. Vanguard, BlackRock, and BMO are like the brands. They package the ETFs, aka the lip gloss, and they sell it to you. They don't pick individual winners, they spread your money across several companies depending on what that ETF's goal is. That's why there are so many ETFs, is because there are so many different funds and so many different companies that offer them. There are ETFs that track the S&P 500, there are ETFs that track the tech sector, there are ETFs that track Canadian banks, there are ETFs that track international companies, there are ETFs that cover essentially everything. Now, here are examples of ETFs that track the exact same thing. They're just sold by different companies. When you buy an ETF, you're not betting on Vanguard, BMO, or, for example, BlackRock. You're betting on the type of ETF that you're buying. So, similar to your lip gloss, you're buying it because you like the color. So, with the ETF, you may buy it because it tracks the S&P 500, or maybe it tracks Canadian banks. But you're not buying it just because it came from a certain store or certain factory. Now, you're asking, okay, well, if they all have an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, which one do I pick? And for me personally, I look at two things when deciding which company to buy my ETF at. I look at the MER fee, which is the management expense ratio. The lower the MER fee is the more money you'll save eventually. And I also look at how the ETF has performed over the past 10 years. Now, remember, just because it may have performed well in the past 10 years does not mean it is going to perform well in the next 10 years. But if, let's for example, Vanguard's ETF is performing better than BMO's, I'll go with Vanguard's.